Hi everyone, welcome back to the Riyan's POV podcast. I'm excited to have you guys here with me. My name is Riyan, and yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so before I get into this episode, a little life update. For the past couple weeks since I got back from my trip, I've been a homebody. I've been just hanging out at home, doing everything I can from home, like literally just working on my podcast, working on other little projects that I have going on, applying to school, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But also like trying stuff that are new. Like I picked up pickleball, which is honestly been a blast. I haven't been for a little bit, but I definitely need to get back into it. Spending a lot of time outside just because I live in a very naturey place, and why not? And I've been reading a lot more books lately, both nonfiction and fiction. I feel like it's like one book is like more for educational purposes and just like I'm actually like gaining something from it, and the other book is more of a entertainment piece. And it's been great. Like I never really read fiction or a lot of fiction growing up. I didn't really care for it, but now it's like okay, like I see why reading is such a common hobby. Okay, so let's actually get into today's episode about self-discovery. And it's something that we all go through, and this is more of like a critical period because I'm 21. I'm also going through it right now. I am learning more and more about myself every single day, and this is honestly the time period I like to call like a crucial period, or a sensitive period for self-discovery, because this is when you kind of like leave from home and you're not like in the comfort of the routine that you built up for many years, because like ever since like elementary school till high school you have a common routine and you're just like following it. You know what you're going to do tomorrow, but most of it is very structured. And I feel like when you like turn like 18, like right after high school, it's like you're supposed to know what you want to do for the rest of your life. You're supposed to know your goals and ambitions right off the bat, but that's literally never the case. Like it takes time to actually figure that out, and this is the time to do so. And literally your adult life just started and you're making your own decisions, building off of that foundation from the jump and becoming the person that you're meant to be. And honestly, it's scary. Like it was extremely scary for me because I was going in literally blind. Like yeah, I had some interest, and that's like the only reason I even studied something that I was interested in from the jump, because it was like, oh, like biology seems really interesting. It's something that I've been exposed to my whole life, literally my whole life, and it's been like at the back of my mind. And obviously that's how you like build interest. That's why I even pursued it in the first place. But there's like so many other challenges. Like I didn't know what to expect. And you kind of like don't know how to go about it, especially like when you have nobody else to talk to about it. You literally are just like going in blind and you have no expectations, which is honestly a good thing because life will surprise you and you will literally find things that you're gonna enjoy, and like you will find it in the most unexpected places. So the key to self-discovery is experiences, having hands-on real life experiences. And the only way to get experiences like that is to literally put yourself out there and try as many different things as possible. You're not going to be great at some things, but you're going to be amazing at something else. You're going to like be drawn to something that may be like completely out of the blue, but the whole point is to give it a try, and you have to like honestly go out and seek these opportunities. I feel like when it comes to like picking a career path, that is like so crucial, just because you need to really make sure that this is something that you want to do for the rest of your life. And honestly, one thing I did do, like I try to like work in everything that I thought that I wanted to do or was somewhat intriguing to me. So like freshman year of college, I worked as a clinical assistant because I wanted to go down the pre-med route, and I was like, okay, let me try it out. Let me see what it's like to like work in this certain environment, because I have like no family connections in the medical field, none of that. So I was like, the only way you're gonna know is by doing. Um, and like there's like volunteer positions and stuff like that. I feel like that's like a foot in the door, but you don't really get to experience the whole thing until you're actually like working in the field. And I spent about a year and 3 months at that job. And it was great. I'm not gonna lie, it was great. It was a very good learning experience for me. And like at first, like there's definitely a word for this. I just can't like think of it right now. But like when something is new and like it's like shiny and you're just like, oh my god, like this is the best thing in the world. But over time it loses its novelty. So it's like stick through it for a while, because like when something is new to you, it's always gonna be exciting. But you're not gonna really like be thinking clearly, because like I shadowed like here and there, and it's like, oh my god, that was like the greatest day of my life. But it's like, would that be something that you want to do? So when I like stayed the first month, I was still like getting the hang of it. Everything was new. Second month, I was already getting the hang of everything. And then like the longer I stay there, the more I kind of experience the lifestyle, the more I experienced the lifestyle, the workload, so on and so forth. And I also like made connections there with people that are in like different positions. Like I worked with some MPs, PAs, I worked with some physical therapists, doctors, all of them. Like I just had conversations with everybody, and to see like what their perspective was on their career, like what did they like, what they didn't like, and so on and so forth. And like one question I really liked asking people was, if you were to do it all over again, would you? Because it's like now you know what it's like to be in the position that you are now. So if you get to set a reset button, would you do it all over again? A lot of them said yes, a lot of them said maybe, maybe not. So it's always like a good way to like understand the roles that you might want to be taking on, or the career path that you want, is to experience it, work in it, and also network and have conversations with people in the field. And just like try other things, like be open-minded to other opportunities that just like come about. Like there's during my junior year of college, I really wanted to do research. So I got this email that like literally like came about. Like there was like a program that they're doing for juniors and seniors. And I was like, maybe it's something that I want to do. I applied, completely forgot about it. A couple months later, I got in. So it was just like, just apply, put yourself out there, and let it take course, if that makes any sense at all. And you'll like find things like other activities, like joining clubs, and stuff like that, and those will always be good for you. And the whole point of like these experiences is to do soul searching. You never really know what will make a drastic impact on you, and sometimes it comes from things that you wouldn't expect. Okay, so the next big tip that I would say, okay, so this is something that I'm actually going through now, and it's embracing boredom, because when you're bored, I think your mind is just a lot more creative. Like, I'm currently not working right now, and I've gained a lot of experience in my work life, and now I'm just taking some time to be bored and like just let things happen. So I'm taking this time to just like be curious, try new hobbies and stuff like that. And I don't like, I know this isn't a great way to put it, but do you guys remember when we were like younger and like when we were bored, at least my generation, when we were bored, there wasn't a lot of like technology and stuff like that to distract us. So we would come up with like the craziest games. Like, that's when your mind actually starts to like, be creative, and you'll have a lot more fun that way, and you'll try new things, and you'll learn more about yourself. Like, that is the whole point. And also like be mindful about your boredom, because like this is kind of hand in hand with minimizing distractions, because now since we have like all these things that like at our fingertips, like we have social media, we can literally like go on our phones, watch Netflix, and like use other platforms, and just like constantly scroll on TikTok, and all of these are distractions, and time is moving along and you're not really doing much. I like to call it brain rot. Like, sometimes it's good to have a good brain rot, but then not on a consistent basis. So I try to like minimize the amount of screen time that I have, or minimize the amount of time that I'm on social media, just so I have that time to do other things outside of just like scrolling. Okay, so you gotta take advantage of your boredom. I like to pick up new hobbies. Like, I tried crocheting. I freaking suck at crocheting. Like, it was terrible. But I also like picked up baking, which I'm like decent at. Like, you never know what you'll learn. Like, you'll learn a new skill, which will also help you with your life trajectory. Like, you never know. Like, you can literally go take a pottery class. Like, it's like the most random things that come to mind. And then now it's like, oh, you're really good at it. You really love it. Maybe this is for you. And more like opportunities and possibilities will be open. And just be more mindful about how you spend your free time, because you can either let it work for you, or you can just be in a brain rot. So be very mindful, be very demure. Okay. So final thing is be very honest with yourself. Reflect on all your experiences. I picked up journaling a couple years ago, and it honestly changed my life, because you're literally like writing it all down. Like, I like to like write about the experience, what I liked, what I didn't like, and I like to also be very honest with myself, because you can't lie to yourself, Like, I can say right now that my favorite color is orange, but I hate freaking orange. And it's like, you have to be honest with yourself in order for you to like move on and to grow from it. And it literally makes you like, journaling, at least for me, it makes me more mindful and present in my own life, because there's times where like things get crazy, and you're just like going to the next thing, and you're just like constantly doing things, where eventually you just become numb, and you're just going through the motions. Take time to just sit with yourself. Do not have any distractions. Reflect. Think about literally everything that you can write down, what you learned, and whether or not you think this is something that is more long term, or if it's something that you want to nip in the bud. And yeah, it's a great practice. Like, I really enjoyed journaling. And sometimes I do look back and just like see how much I've grown over the years. And it's honestly been great. Okay, so you also have to like embrace failure, because like whenever people think about failure, it's like, oh, it's a bump in the road, or it's like some inconvenience, but it's honestly there for a reason. It's part of the path that you're supposed to be taking. Like, it's never gonna just be a straight path. That you're gonna have some detours. It's gonna take a loop to loop, and it's literally there for you. You know what I mean? You learn from failures. You're supposed to move on from it. And it's something that I had a lot of issues with. Like, I did not like to fail. Like, I hated like failure. I used to beat myself up for it, but now it's like, okay, like, shit, you're gonna fail at something. You're not perfect at the end of the day. And you're also like meant to learn from it. So how can you move forward from failure? And honestly, failure is part of your success story. Like, it's not meant to be easy. Nothing is easy in this world. So you just got to keep going. I think like this is something that we've all fallen into, and that's like comparing yourself to others. I feel like whenever I fail in something, I try to like compare myself to others, and it's like it's an easy trap to fall into. Um, and it's really important to remember that everybody's on their own journey. You don't really know the roadblocks or anything that's happening in the other person's life, and it's like your journey is completely different. Like, you guys might have the same end goal, but you guys are taking two separate paths, and you never know. Like, some people are struggling with their own things in order to succeed in their life. So you have to just take control of your own narrative, focus on your own path. Like, if you keep on looking at the other person and watching them go through their journey, you're not going to really move forward. Like, you can't focus on both you and them. So be grateful for where you are. Recognize the opportunities around you. Focus on your own narrative and keep writing your story. And during this, be kind to yourself, because if you're not kind to yourself, your life is going to be a whole lot worse and a whole lot harder. So just take care of yourself. Put yourself first, make yourself your first priority, and yeah, just keep going. Okay guys, so that is all I have for you guys today. Hopefully this was helpful. Please let me know in the comments. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.